this Palm Springs IVF clinic explosion and the person that was identified. The person that was identified as a result of it. I'm not sure if anybody is familiar with this, but this is what happened over the weekend. And I wanted to bring some visibility to this before we get into the Biden situation and all of that. So make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. It's Rob.
To visually see it, Chief Mills wouldn't let me return back to.
So that was one witness testimony, and it looks like very possibly we may be getting authorities stepping up to the mic to give us an update on this explosion in Palm Springs. This was at and just outside of a fertility clinic in the city, which is about a 2-hour drive east of Los Angeles. This is the first time we've heard from authorities on camera. Let's listen in.
Started. I'm Lieutenant Mike Villegas. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Palm Springs Police Department. We will have 4 speakers today from the FBI, from the Palm Springs Police Department, Palm Springs Fire Department, and our city council members. So first, we're going to start off with Assistant Director Akil Davis. He's from the FBI in Los Angeles.
Thanks a lot, Mike. Good afternoon. As Mike just said, my name is Akil Davis. I'm the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI's Los Angeles field office. This morning at approximately 11 a.m. local time, our police and fire partners responded to an explosion at the 1300 block of North Indian Canyon Drive in Palm Springs, just behind us, a couple hundred feet. In addition to the FBI, Palm Springs PD, the Palm Springs Fire Department, and other agencies, including the ATF, Riverside County Sheriff's Department, Desert Hot Springs Police Department, Cathedral City Police Department, as well as the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, all responded to this incident. The FBI, which has an office nearby, responded with approximately 6 agents initially. Currently, 1 person who was near the vehicle is deceased, but at least 4 people are injured. I'd like to offer our best wishes to those injured and hopefully for a quick recovery. After my remarks, Chief Mills will provide a status on the injuries, as well as community safety and other road closure precautions. This explosion was significant, covering several blocks north, south, east, and west of the 1300 block of Indian Canyon. Roads are closed as there's wide debris field over 250 yards. The FBI's evidence response team is on scene right now, processing evidence, and will be here for a significant amount of time. Our bomb technicians are working with the post-blast scene as well to determine the origins of the blast. We are working to confirm the identity of the deceased, and we will provide that to you as soon as we can, but we are keeping that close hold in order to protect the integrity of the investigation. Make no mistake, this is an intentional act of terrorism. The FBI is investigating it as such. Our Joint Terrorism Task Force is here, working in lockstep with the Palm Springs Police Department, the ATF, and a whole host of agencies that I've already mentioned. If anyone has information regarding this incident, I urge them to call 1-800-CALL-FBI for any tips that might assist us in our investigation. Now I'd like to turn it over to Palm Springs Police Chief Andy Mills.
Can you state your name again, please, and your title really quick?
Yes, Akil Davis, Assistant Director in Charge, FBI Los Angeles.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Andrew Mills, M-I-L-L-S, Police Chief in Palm Springs. And with me today is our Mayor Pro Tem, Naomi Soto, this side, as well as council members David Reddy, Jeffrey Bernstein, and Grace Gardner, and our city manager, Scott Stiles. I am really saddened by today's attack on our city, but I'm also hopeful because this city will rise. And this city.
All right, I don't need any speeches. I'm going to go over to another video so that I can try to deep dive into this a little bit more before I give my commentary, because I'm still trying to understand why somebody would bomb an IVF clinic. And maybe I'm just not understanding. Maybe I don't get it, but I'm trying to learn as much as I can. I am familiar with what happened and the suspect. And again, I'm gonna bring y'all up to date on that, but I'm trying to learn as much information as I can before, we start talking about this.
Terrorism came knocking on the door of Palm Springs.
Now on Eyewitness News at 8 o'clock, terror hits Palm Springs. What's being called an intentional car bomb attack outside a fertility clinic, rocking Palm Springs, hurling debris for blocks, blowing out windows of nearby buildings and leaving one person dead. Hello and thank you for joining us. You're watching Eyewitness News at 8, live on ABC 7, Hulu, and wherever you stream. I'm Jory Rand.
And I'm Sophie Flay. Investigators have their hands full tonight with a massive crime scene in the desert. Here's what we know right now. Investigators were calling this an intentional act of violence. Again, one person was killed, at least 4 people are injured. The damage and debris extending over several blocks. Federal and local agencies are involved in the investigation. They have mentioned a person of interest.
We have complete team coverage for you tonight, including a second crime scene in 29 Palms. Eyewitness News reporter Elena Gomez is live there as authorities have locked down a scene out of fear of another explosion. But we begin with Inland Empire Bureau Chief Rob McMillan, who is live in Palm Springs with the latest on the investigation there. Rob.
Just a massive crime scene out here near downtown Palm Springs, covering multiple city blocks. One officer telling me that investigators could be out here for days. As you mentioned, 4 people injured, 1 person killed. Now, the authorities aren't saying anything about the suspect in this case. However, they are saying that the community is no longer in any danger. A massive explosion right in the middle of downtown Palm Springs. Dozens of windows blown out by the intensity of the blast, shrapnel flying hundreds of feet, tourists and locals alike wondering what was going on.
We heard this loud noise. I shook all of our building.
It was a big bang.
Leon Basilio was making a delivery for Uber Eats at the time of the blast. He was close by, so he immediately went to the scene.
As I went on the lot, I seen a car on fire. It was pieces of car. It wasn't a whole car.
Authorities say it's possible that the car was the source of the blast. What they would say is that this was no accident. They believe a fertility clinic the car was parked right behind was intentionally targeted.
Make no mistake, this is an intentional act of terrorism.
Akil Davis is the assistant director.
Well, Nola, you said God gives life. How are they playing God? Okay. Let me hold on to that for a second.
In charge of the FBI's Los Angeles field office, he describes the crime scene as massive.
Let me be clear. This was probably one of the largest bombing investigations that we've had in Southern California. This explosion was significant, covering several blocks north, south, east, and west.
4 people were injured, 1 person killed. However, the FBI would not comment on whether the person who was killed was an innocent bystander or perhaps their suspect.
So we did confirm that it was a suspect that died. So I'm not sure if he meant to kill himself. Ginger and Juice says those fertilization treatments get the viable eggs to be placed in a mother's womb. It's mainly for people with fertility issues. Okay, so let me just make sure that we all speak into this in truth. Let me understand something. You guys are telling me is that IVF treatments, give me a little bit of rope here. I'm going to summarize it from a C student's perspective. Some people are saying test tube babies. IVF treatments are essentially because when the sperm quality, I don't know what that means by sperm quality is poor. I know guys down in the South, down in Georgia, I know guys that were still having babies all the way through their 70s. And when they died, they were still revealing that they had little kids. I know guys that was working in the plant that wasn't still working in the plant after 40 years because they actually liked their job. They was working in the plant because they had their side chick over here. They had a whole nother family on the side that they was raising, and they had to make sure that they got that kid through 18 and through college. And so they was still in the plant. They didn't retire because they was still working. That's what I know. So this is all new information for me. You know what I'm saying? Grandpapa used to be having kids all the way through his 70s and sometimes to his 80s, depending on where he was from. That was normal. All right. So they say that it's either not, Molly is saying not enough sperm or it's slow. Now, they use this process, whatever this process is right here, to ensure that the sperm gets injected into the egg so that they'll have a better chance of the woman ultimately getting pregnant. Is that fair? Is that fair? In summary, it is a treatment to where they are helping the sperm reach the egg, and then there's a greater possibility of the woman getting pregnant. Correct? They said the sperm ain't Michael Phelps no more. Can't swim. Okay. All right. So now that we understand what that is, all right, because this is much different of a conversation than we talking about, say, abortion, right? The sperm is AARP. This is much different than if you talking about abortion. Abortion is the killing of babies, right? It is the elimination of something that is already formed and flushing it down the toilet. I don't believe that there should be bombings anywhere. But if you see some of those signs of what that stuff looks like, it makes you cringe to your stomach. And then it also starts to foster a conversation around, okay, well, wait a minute. Is this a life that we taking? Because I see women all the time on the internet talking about, girl, get rid of that kid. It was cool for me. Plan B, plan C, and all of this stuff. And I say, okay, wait a minute. We need to start having more conversations about being proactive and who you choose to have a child with instead of using it as a form of contraception. IVF is helping, yes, DJ Ace Productions, helping a short bust sperm get to the egg so that it's a greater possibility for you to get pregnant. What I'm trying to understand is, why is this an issue for people? Because nothing that I see tells me that we should care about fertility treatments. Nothing that I see as a conservative Republican, myself personally, tells me that we should care about fertility treatments. If you want your sperm on a short bus, then you want your sperm on a short bus. I don't understand what the problem is. Somebody says if you against IVF, you're dusty. I'm gonna tell you, I don't care. This is one of those issues that I don't believe is political. Now, the only way that I can insert myself into it is if we are using tax dollars, meaning dollars from me, dollars from you, to get this thing done for people. I don't believe that I should have to pay for your fertility treatments. If it don't cost me no money in this particular issue, I don't see where the morality is, and I don't understand why we would care about whether or not people got fertility treatments. This is not a political issue, in my opinion. Angel says it was an LGBTQ fertility clinic. How? How? I mean, how would we know? Because I can't imagine that a fertility clinic says we only service people that are boy and boy and girl and girl. How would they be able to get away with only being and only servicing gay couples? I don't believe that. Unless there's some unless there's some evidence that support otherwise, I can't believe that. If it is not coming out of my dollars, tax dollars, and it is not a morality issue, which I can't make it out to be a morality issue, then I don't care. If you're using your own money, if you're using your own healthcare coverage that is supported by your company and your company want to pay for it, and you get an IVF or fertility treatments, that's on you. That's on you. So again, I think that this is unfortunate. Thankfully, he's the only life that was taken. There are other people that was hurt as a result of it, but people need to stop being so extreme. You can't go and blow up something because you don't care, or you affecting a bunch of city blocks because you don't agree with something that somebody else is doing. That's not how we work. That's not how it works here in the United States of America. That's not how it works. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it at all.